So namaskar dosto. So our first question today from history section. Okay, so our first question: which of the following was not one of the recommendation of the Simon Commission? So which of the following not recommended by the Simon Commission in 1927? So here option you can see. Please pause and see the option. So mainly here question call you that's not which of the following not is recommended by the Simon Commission. It is mainly so Simon Commission not recommend overriding powers of provincial government should be entirely ended. So mainly D is the answer. It is not recommended by the Simon Commission. So okay, overriding powers of provincial governors should be entirely ended. It is not recommended Simon Commission, but 1 to ABC is recommended by the Simon Commission. Replacement of diarchy in the provinces and full responsible government. So mainly replacement of diarchy and in the provinces and with the full responsible government. Okay, it is recommended by the Simon Commission. Second, Burma should be separated from the British India. Yes, it is recommended by the Simon Commission. Burma should be separated from the British India, and the government of India should have complete control over the high courts. So government of India should have complete control over the high courts. It is recommended by the Simon Commission. Government of India should have complete control over the high courts. So mainly ABC is the mainly recommended by the Simon Commission, but here question will also call you not recommended by the Simon Commission 1927. So it is mainly overriding powers not recommend. Provincial governors should be entirely ended, not entirely ended. Okay, by the Simon Commission. So there is position you can see of some emergency powers in the hands of the governor, but there is not all the completely ended, but here is some of the there was provisions of some emergency powers in the hands of governors. Some emergency power in the hands of the governor. Major recommendation of the Simon Commission: diarchy in the province should be abolished, and ministers should be made responsible to the provincial legislature in all departments, including Department of Law and Order, and the governors was to retain certain powers. Governors was to retain certain powers for the sake of internal security and for the protection of the minorities. So it is important. He would also have full powers of intervention in the event of breakdown of the Constitution. So he would also have the full powers intervention in the events of breakdown of the Constitution. There should be federal government at the center consisting of British India and the Peninsular State. There should be a federal government, okay, at the center. Please remember. Okay. Sorry. Okay, and British, so there should be for federal government at the center and consisting of British India and the Peninsular States, and British troops and British officers should stay on in Indian regiments for many years. British troops and British officers should stay on Indian regiments many years. Provincial Legislative Council should be enlarged. Provincial Legislative Council should be enlarged. The franchise was to be extended. The Governor General should be free to select and appoint members of his cabinet. Governor General should be free. Governor General should be free and to select the appoint member of his cabinet. High Court should be under the administrative control. High Court should be under the administrative control of the government of India. The Governor General should be free to select and appoint members of his cabinet. The franchise was to be extended. The Provincial Legislative Council was to be Provincial Legislative Council should be enlarged, and High Court should be under the administrative control of the government of India. No change in the central executive. Burma should be separated from the British India. Burma should be separated from the British India and should be provided a constitution of its own. The commission submitted its report in 1930 The Indian leaders were not happy with the report because Indian leaders were not happy because with the report because the commission proposed a limited transfer of power. Commission proposed a limited transfer of powers in the provinces with many restrictions. So commissions mainly, the commission submitted its report in 1930 and Indian leaders were not happy because the commission proposed a limited transfer of power, mainly limited transfer of power, not full. Okay, limited transfer of powers in the provinces with many restrictions. And next question, the main reason behind Bardoli Satyagraha, was mainly, please pose the answer, so it is B is the answer. So the main reason behind the Bardoli Satyagraha was increase in land revenue by British officials. So mainly land revenue increases by the British officials. So this that's why they are also there we can see the Bardoli Satyagraha event. And but others options are not correct because the raised demand for the abolition of Jubindari system. No, it is not related with Bardoli. Non-payment of the plagues bonus to factory workers, non-payment, it is not correct. And indiscriminate salt tax imposed by the government. No, it is not related with Bardoli Satyagraha. Bardoli Satyagraha is related with increase in land revenue by British official. B is the correct. So here you can see the Bardoli Satyagraha was organized against the proposed 30% increase in land revenue. The peasants organized no tax campaign under the leadership of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. So Bardoli Satyagraha event held now is in, but its leader is name is Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Please remember, not Sardar Vittalbhai Patel, not, it is Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Bardoli Satyagraha and no tax campaign under the leadership of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, and in the end won their demand, and Patel got Sardar title during the Bardoli Satyagraha. Please remember. Next question, which of the following is not correct with reference to the civil disobedience movement? Which of the following is not correct with reference to the civil disobedience movement? So mainly here Gandhiji at the Lahore Congress gave a call, so it is not correct. So please pause, and here D is the answer. It is not correct with reference to civil disobedience movement. So Gandhiji at the Lahore Congress gave a call for massive boycott of schools, college. Not, it is related with, not correct, civil disobedience movement. So it is mainly or not, so it is the answer, but here is not, so it is not answer. So it is correct, but others are actually related with civil disobedience movement, like women and teenagers participated in large numbers, okay, in this movement, okay, and to this movement, the civil disobedience movement, Muslim participation remained low throughout the civil disobedience years, and unlike non-cooperation movement, civil disobedience did not coincide with any major labor upsurge. So unlike non-cooperation movement, civil disobedience not to coincide with the major labor upsurge. So mainly 1, 2, 3, A, B, 3 are correct, is correct related, but here question is not correct. So here Gandhiji at the Lahore, it is not correct, gave a call massive boycott, okay, school, colleges, workplace, and to embolden the movement. It is not related with the civil disobedience movement. Please remember. So here you can see during the civil disobedience movement there was a discernible absence of Hindu-Muslim unity, no major labor participation, and the intelligentsia was not involved in the past. The labor remained apathetic and the Muslim often antagonistic. Women, Gandhi had specially asked women to play a leading part in the movement. Soon they become a familiar sight, and picketing outside liquor shops and opium dens and shopping selling foreign clothes. So it is mainly Gandhiji had specially asked women to play a leading part in the movement, and soon they became a familiar sight, and picketing outside liquor shops, opium dens and shops selling foreign clothes, etc. Okay, listen. And D is the wrong, because Gandhiji at the Lahore Congress 1929 rejected a call for boycott of and this rejected a call for boycott of schools, colleges, school and courts as unpractical. I do not see today the atmosphere about us necessary for such boycott. So you can see extra information. Business support during civil disobedience movement. On the other hand, new future of the civil disobedience movement was started was an initial massive business and peasant support. The business class participated at least during the initial period in two very fruitful ways. They provided the finance and supported the boycott movement, particularly that the revolutionary terrorism. It was indeed the cloth merchants, particularly the importers, who contributed most of the success of the boycott movement by refusing. So it is mainly the importers who contributed most of the success of the boycott the movement by refusing Indian foreign goods for specific periods. And the mill owners on the other hand were nervous and offered little concrete support when the Congress launched the second civil disobedience movement in January 1932. Business support was clearly not forthcoming, although there was no consensus on this matter either. So it is 1932 in January. Okay, so business support was clearly not forthcoming, although there was no consensus on this matter either. So we discussed all the things and we understood what is actually civil disobedience movement. And here business and peasant support is important, and why Gandhiji tell them that we not to boycott anything. Okay, so here you can see. So Gandhiji at the Lahore Congress in 1929 rejected a call for boycott of call for boycott of schools and courts as unpractical. I do not see that today. Gandhiji tell, I do not see today the atmosphere about us necessary for such boycott. We discuss all the things. So our next question, the Tin Gatia system became the major cause of which of the following historic movements? The Tin Gatia system became the major cause of related with Champaran movement. Please remember, Champaran movement related with Tin Gatia system. Okay, so you see Champaran movement related with Tin Gatia system. Please remember. And not, it is related with Ahmedabad not, and Swadeshi boycott not, and Santali rebellion not. So it is not related with Tin Gatia system, is related with only Champaran movement, not Ahmedabad, not Swadeshi, not Santal. Okay, please remember Champaran. Okay, we study just Champaran. Okay, at Champaran in the early 19th century, European planters had involved the cultivators and in agreement that forced them to cultivate indigo. So it is mainly related with indigo and Tin Gatia system. Okay, so at Champaran in the early 19th century, European planters had involved the cultivators in agreement that forced them to cultivate indigo on 3/20 of their holding. Okay, known as the Tin Gatia system. As indigo declined from about 1900 in face of competition from the synthetic dyes, the planters tried to pass the burden of the peasants by charging Saravesi rent enhancement or tawan lump sum compensation in return for releasing them from obligation to grow indigo. The widespread resistance that ensued became the historic Champaran movement. So next question, the Wavell plan was arrived at the Simla Conference 1945. So Wavell plan was arrived at the Simla Conference 1945, provided for which of the following? For which of the following? It is mainly provided Indianization of the Viceroy Executive Council. It is related with. So Wavell plan. So it is mainly Simla Conference 1945 provided Indianization of the Viceroy Executive Council. Okay, Indianization, and removing any caste and religion based quota in the executive council, it is wrong, and partition of India not related to the Weibull plan. Okay, so it is not, but Indianization of the Viceroy Executive Council, partition of not related, so 3 is wrong mainly. Which one? 3, if 3 wrong, then A, B and D wrong, then we see just 2. So removing any caste and religion quota, no, they are not working with it. So mainly our answer is 1, Indianization of the Viceroy Executive Council. Means C is the answer. 1 is the answer. As for now, you just understood what is Weibull plan. So as for the Weibull plan, all members of the council except the Viceroy and Commander-in-Chief would be Indians. As for Weibull plan, so all the members of the council except the Viceroy and the Commander-in-Chief would be Indians. Okay, and so except Viceroy and Commander-in-Chief, but all others are Indians, but except Viceroy and Commander-in-Chief. Statement 2 is wrong. The caste Hindus and Muslim would be equal representation, while the scheduled caste would also be separately represented. And statement 3 wrong. It proposed the future constitution of India, not its partition. So it's proposed a future constitution of India, not partition. Okay, please remember. So now we discuss all the things. So 5 questions. Thank you.